Hello everyone, my name is Kai and I am an events and wedding MC here in Singapore. Now today I'm going to do this video right for our friends who are getting married soon. All right, for you to know what's going to happen on your actual day. Okay, so my part right only comes in at the hotel. Okay, for MC. So I'll just share with you what's going to happen from your solemnization, tea ceremony, as well as your whole banquet. Okay, for the ROM, there are a few things that you have to take note lah. Most of the time, the bride will march in with the daddy. Now at the same time, some brides will want to march in with the daddy and mommy lah. Okay, so you can make a choice, and then the three of you or the two of you can march in, all right, and then the groom will be waiting in front. Right, and then of course daddy and mommy will hand over the bride's hand to the groom, and then the groom and the bride can sit down, and then after that the witnesses will join at the table, and then solemnization will start by the solemnizer. So now the whole session will be conducted by the solemnizer, and once it's done, all right, you can choose to have a march out. All right, if you decided not to have a march out, it's fine as well, so that we can quickly transit to our tea ceremony. Okay, so for tea ceremony, very straightforward. What you need to prepare is this. You just need to prepare a list of the person that you are going to 敬茶 to. Okay, now prepare the list first and go through with your parents, because 有时他们比较讲究一点啦。好，因为呢 this list is tea ceremony. We have to also understand why we are doing this tea ceremony is to recognize each other's relatives from both sides of the family. So it's like 男方要知道女方的这位这是谁女方原来他是谁这样子。So we have to prepare the sequence properly. So always just go through the whole sequence with your parents. Now for my suggestion is this, always go with the groom's parents first, then bride's parents, followed by your agongs and amas level. Sometimes why we do that is because 爸爸妈妈也是那天的主角 okay? So we have to let the parents go first. Now, but sometimes parents may disagree and say, hey, Akong and Ama should go first. That's why I say go and check with them. Now, after the 长辈们 are finished, all right, always go back to the groom's relatives and then the bride's relatives. Right, after they are done, then to your 同辈们, your cousins, your brothers, and then after that, your 晚辈们, your nephews and your niece, all right? So, and that's where you give ang paos after that, okay? So always consolidate those that are giving ang paos to you first, and then after that, those that you are giving ang paos to. Now, another thing to take note is, a lot of our couples, right, they like to wear cheongsam and kwa for your tea ceremony because take photo nicer ma, okay? But that will take up a lot of time because of the changing time. So what I always recommend to my couple is this, is that you can actually wear your cheongsam for your ROM instead, okay? So that you have more photo opportunities for your cheongsam and your kwa. So once tea ceremony is ended already, right, the two of you can actually head back up to your room to do your change for your first march-in. All right, and of course, if you are not doing any change, all right, just go back to your room and rest first, because the two of you wake up pretty early in the morning to do your makeup. Okay, so now this is the time where you also have to check with your makeup artist, all right, if they are coming to do your makeup before the march-in or before the second march-in. Okay, so because we need to cater time for them, all right, and the banquet also needs to know what time where we're going to start for the march-in. So right now we are at the reception time. This is the time where your guests are coming in one by one, and then they are checking in their names at the reception. So the groom, right now, your job is to make sure that all your guests are here and to follow up with those who are not here yet, all right, while the bride are still in the room doing her makeup. During this reception time, the groom, you have to let the the hotel banquet manager knows what time you want to start the banquet, because they need to let the kitchen know 15 minutes in advance, all right, because they have to start cooking your first course of meal, all right? So if let's say, for example, the buffer time of lunch is between 12:30 to 1, and for dinner is between 7:30 to 8 p.m, all right? So you have to let us know when you want to start between this time, all right, so we can get the kitchen to start cooking, all right? So there'll be no delay for your first march-in as well as your first course of food. Once all your guests are in the banquet hall already, the two of you, the groom and the bride, will be standing right outside the main ballroom. So don't worry, during your first march-in, there will always be a banquet manager guiding you on what to do later on during the march-in as well as on stage, okay? Now, if you have engaged an MC like me, we will be there as well. And in fact, share with you what's going to happen on stage later. So now, the MC will go on stage to start the whole wedding banquet, and then we will be playing your childhood montage first, okay? So it's okay not to have a childhood montage as well, all right? But it's recommended to have, all right? And how long is it? 3 minutes, 5 minutes, up to you. As long as most of your stories and your love stories are all inside, all right, is sufficient. Okay. Now, and most importantly, next up we have your first margin. First margin, the most important thing is the choice of song. Okay. So I always recommend your first margin to be a bit more romantic. So choose a very slow song that goes with your white gown, all right? Or if you choose a more happening gown, all right, for your first margin, then you choose, all right, a more happening song, okay? So always go together with your gown, all right? And also, this creates the right mood for your guests, as well as your photographer and videographers to capture the right kind of mood for you, okay? So now, once you choose the right song, the next question is, when do we know when to open the door? Okay, so for example, if you choose the first song as Beautiful in White, we know that the vocals will normally come in at about 16 to 18 seconds. Okay, so you just let us know at 18 seconds you want to open the door. The banquet manager, the AV side, the MC, all of us will know it's 18 seconds. The doors will open, the light will shine at you, and I will welcome you into the ballroom, okay? So that is how we work. Next up, when you are marching in, one thing to take note as well, do rehearse a little bit before you start coming in, okay? Because we do not want you to trip or we do not want you to fall during the biggest day of your life, okay? So do a little bit of rehearsal just right before the march in, all right? So that when you come in, you can look confident, and most importantly, always look up and not look down, okay? So that you can look at the photographers and the videographers, and then they can take the best shot of your life, okay? So look up, smile, and of course, just wave at your guests, okay? So now, after which, when you reach the stage, all right, do not worry that if your gown is very big, okay? They will always allocate a staff to help you to go up the stage. Now, at the same time, of course, our groom 自动 a bit also, please help your wife up, all right, to the stage, because the two of you will now be heading to the cake to do the cake cutting ceremony, okay? So someone will pass you the knife. So 4 hands together, and I want you guys to cut the cake together as one. And most importantly, do not destroy the cake because it's a styrofoam fake cake. But do not worry, there is always a very small slot, all right, empty slot for you to place the knife in. And then once you place the knife in, always look at the cameras, always look at the photographers and videographers, all right, smile. If you want to kiss, kiss, all right, so they can create lots of memories for your lifetime. All right, and then once you guys are done, we will invite you back to your seat and we will start your banquet, lunch, or dinner. So for a banquet, lunch, or dinner, all right, it's either a 6, 7, or 8 course. All right, so today's program flow is fitted for this 6 or 7 or 8 course meal in a hotel. Okay, so normally there will be 4 course for the first part of the wedding, and then there will be a break for your second margin, followed by the next 4 course. Before the end of the banquet. Now, each course is about 15 minutes, okay? So 1 hour for the first part and then another hour for the second part. Now, for the first and second course, normally I will suggest to our couples, all right, to eat before you head for your change. Now, having said that, we also have to check with your makeup artist, okay, how long they need for your makeup change. So sometimes if they need 45 minutes, then you have to work backwards, all right, and maybe go up a bit earlier during the first course, okay? Now, sometimes, even though you do not need very long to change, I'll recommend you to go up and change a bit earlier, all right? So that you can come back a bit earlier before your 4th course or your 5th course, all right? To get ready for your second margin. Now, if there's still time before the second margin, what we can recommend is that you can actually take some shots together with your second gown, all right? With your photographers and videographers. Now, as you can see, I'm a person that likes to cater time for our photographers and videographers because that's part of your core memory for your wedding day, okay? So that's why I always cater time, all right, to make sure that you can have some of the best shots of your life. Now, when you are changing, all right, MC like us will normally like to play games, all right, during that period of time because that's like a lull period, right, where you guys are changing and your guests are kind of like finished talking to their guests already, 没有东西讲了, okay? So that's where we step in to make sure that we can bring the mood up a little bit and get ready for your second margin, all right? So games that we normally play are like bingo, Kahoot, trivia, or maybe even a small little lucky draw, all right, that we can get the guests to be engaged, all right, and get ready for your second margin. For the second margin, once the two of you are ready right outside the ballroom, so for me, or the banquet manager, same thing, will be there to guide you again and tell you what's going to happen next for the next 5 to 10 minutes, okay? For most weddings, right, they will have the same day edit if you have, all right, to be played right before your second margin. Now, for me, I do things a little different. I feel that since you pay so much for the videographer, I would suggest you to put the same day edit later on after your speech, so that you can sit down comfortably and watch the video together with your guests, all right, and enjoy the laughter and the emotions together. All right, so for the second marching, the sequence will be as such. The MC will go on stage to do an introduction, all right, and then we'll welcome you for the second marching. Same thing, choice of song, all right, and please let us know at which part of the song you want to do your marching. And then once you come out on stage, same thing once again, somebody will guide you on stage, all right, and then we will be doing the champagne popping. All right, so champagne popping is quite straightforward. The MC will guide you, and right before the march-in, the banquet manager normally will let the groom go through a crash course with the groom, all right, on how to pop the champagne. Now, do not worry about whether you can pop the champagne or not, all right? That's part of the wedding, that's part of the fun, all right? Just enjoy yourself. If it doesn't come out, do not worry, all right? The banquet manager or the MC will be there to help you, okay? So 不要紧张，不要怕, okay? Sometimes I see a lot of groom come to me and say, 哎，我很怕嘞，等一下pop不出来怎么办? Don't worry, okay? It will eventually pop out, okay? So now, right after the champagne popping, all right, we'll arrange for the two of you to do a cross-arm toast, all right? Before and after that, I'll invite your VIP tables up on stage to do the yam sing. Now, this is the part that you also have to take note on who you want to invite up on stage and let the MC knows a bit earlier. Now, because depending on venue, right, some of the stage are limited in terms of sizes. Some are huge, some are small. All right, so you have to allocate the right person to come up. If not, we do not want to jam up the whole stage. All right, okay, and also at the same time, we do not want the big stage to look so empty with just a few of you on stage. Okay, so now is the thank you speech. The main question by most couple is how long should the speech be, okay? So now for me, I always tell my couple between 5 to 10 minutes each is sufficient, all right? Keep it short, keep it sharp. For those important people, yes, I think you should, give thanks to them on stage. But for those that you feel that like your friends or maybe your colleagues and so on, you can do a very generous statement to thank them, all right, and say that, no, I will thank you personally later on after the wedding. The reason is because we do not want the speech to drag too long as well, because we have a very important photo taking session right after this, which might delay a lot of time, and then you might not have a lot of quality time with your guests, okay? So these are just some things that to take note for your time management. So right after your thank you speech, all right, I'll invite the two of you back to your seats, and that is where we will play your same day edit if you engage a videographer. And this is something I would suggest, please have a videographer for your wedding, because these are just memories that you can never buy back, okay? 我知道很多人讲很贵很贵, but really these are money well spent, because I'm still watching my videos maybe like 6-7 years after I get married, and we are still enjoying every part of it. All right after the same day edit, I would strongly recommend you to quickly start your photo taking, be it you have 10 tables, 15 tables, 30 tables, all right, because you want to quickly finish the photo taking, all right, so that we can also have more quality time with your guests, okay? How long does the photo taking takes? I would say that always take the number of tables you have times 1.5, okay? So you have 30 tables times 1.5 is about 45 minutes plus minus, okay? It also really depends on whether you stop at every table to drink with your guests, which I strongly not recommend. All right, always try to finish your whole photo taking first before going back to those tables that requires you to drink, okay? So that we do not hold back those guests, such as your relatives who wants to go home early later on. Now, for photo taking, there are some tricks, all right? Always have your brothers or sisters or even your wedding entourage to always prepare the next table, so that your photographers and your couples and the two of you, all right, can just go to the next table, take a shot, then move on to the next table, all right? That will save lots and lots of time to make sure that you have more time to spend with your guests. So most hotels do not serve your dessert until you finish your photo taking, okay? So try to finish your photo taking as quickly as possible, all right, so that important guests like your relatives, especially if you're having dinner, wish to go home early, all right, can go back on time. Once the photo taking is done and dessert is served, all right, and you are mingling with your guests, towards the end, the banquet manager and the MC will come to you and say that we have finished serving the dessert, all right, and then they will invite the two of you plus your parents out to the main ballroom entrance, all right, where we will do our farewell to our friends and relatives, okay, and that's where the time where MC will go on stage to announce the end of the wedding. After which, this will be the end of the wedding, all right, and then the two of you and your parents can finally have a good rest. A tip for you to save on your table-to-table photo taking time is this, okay? If you have a lot of tables, for example, 30 or 40 tables, you can split the photo taking session into two, all right, where the first part you can do during your first and second course. Okay, that's the time where you are supposed to eat. But of course, if you have too many tables, all right, we'll try to finish the photo taking. We'll do a partial of the photo taking during the first and second course. You can do 20 tables maybe for your first part of the banquet, all right, and then maybe finish up with the remaining during the second part of the banquet, which of course will also eats up into your makeup time. Okay, so there are some little adjustments that you have to make, all right, because at the end of the day we only have 2.5 hours to 3 hours of your wedding, all right, so there are some give and takes that you have to adjust to. All right, I hope the program rundown that I shared with you helps you in your wedding planning. All right, I know this journey is going to be very, very challenging. A lot of people on the last day will be saying, well, I just can't hope it ends. But no, don't have this kind of mentality, okay? It's going to be a very fun day. All right, the planning process is going to be a bit more challenging, but don't worry, okay? If you need more help, you have more questions you need to ask, just drop me a text. I will try to answer you as much as I can. Hope you guys enjoy the video and see you. Bye-bye.